In the heart of the Polynesian Triangle, where the vast Pacific stretches endlessly, there existed a society untouched by the modern world. Imagine a life where the ocean's fury was both a life source and a fierce adversary. Picture a Polynesian navigator paddling a voyaging canoe, expertly navigating the treacherous currents and colossal waves of the Pacific. Their path is guided by the celestial compass of stars, the sun, and the moon, a testament to their intimate connection with the cosmos. Their world is one of salty spray, swaying palms, and the constant song of the sea. Yet it's also a world of peril, where storms can capsize canoes, and the unforgiving reef breaks and swallow men whole. These navigators are not merely sailors. They are poets of the ocean, reading its moods, anticipating its whims, and respecting its awesome power. They live by its rhythms, understanding that the sea provides sustenance and can just as easily take it away. In this world, survival is a daily victory, and every sunrise is a gift. As the navigator paddles on, the rhythm of the waves becomes the heartbeat of the story, echoing the pulse of life in a world where land meets sea in a timeless dance. But the Polynesian navigator's existence is not solely defined by the ocean's embrace. They are also storytellers, carrying with them the cultural treasures of their people, their traditions and myths passed down through generations. The ocean is their highway, the stars their guide, and the stories their lifeblood. It's a world of hardship and beauty, where the spirit of adventure never ceases to amaze. And as the navigator's canoe dances on the waves, so does the spirit of exploration in our own lives, forever seeking, forever finding, forever navigating the vast ocean of existence. Now, before we part ways, allow me to share a thought. Just as the Polynesian navigators charted their courses through the vast Pacific, we too navigate the complex currents of life. May their stories be a reminder of our own strength, resilience, and the boundless potential that lies within us all. You wake in the darkness before dawn. The air is cool, salted with the scent of the sea. Beneath you, the woven sleeping mat of pandanus leaves is damp. Above you, the sky is a vast, unending darkness, sprinkled with 1,000,000 glittering stars. The only sound is the gentle rocking of your double-hulled canoe on the endless waves of the Pacific. Your body aches from days of paddling. Your hands are rough and blistered from gripping your carved paddle, its wood worn smooth by your touch. You are a navigator in the Polynesian world, and this is your life. Around the year 1000 CE, you and your fellow voyagers have set sail from the Society Islands, perhaps in search of new lands or to escape the clutches of a rival chief. Days have turned into weeks, and the ocean around you is as endless as time. You are naked except for a simple loincloth of bark cloth that offers little protection from the stinging spray of the waves. The sun, a searing pain in the sky, beats down on you as you work the paddle, urging your canoe forward. The salt water stings your eyes, but you do not dare close them, for to lose even a moment of precious daylight is to court disaster. You are a master navigator, reading the subtle shifts in the winds and currents, interpreting the language of the stars and the flight patterns of birds. Each sunrise, you scan the horizon, searching for land. Each sunset, you pray to the gods for a safe passage. The rhythm of your life is the rhythm of the ocean, a constant rocking, a constant struggle against the vastness of the sea. Your canoe, a mere speck on the endless waves, tossed about by the whims of the wind. Your hope, like the stars above, seems distant and cold, yet you keep paddling, driven by an ancient strength that has carried your people across the Pacific for generations. You are a Polynesian voyager, and this is your story. A story of hardship and hope, of courage and determination, of the unbreakable bond between humanity and the sea. For you are the master of the ocean, and the ocean is your home. As dawn breaks, the stars fade from the inky black above you to a deep indigo. You rise, brushing the sleep from your eyes and from your hair, the tangles mirroring the wanderings of your mind. For 3 weeks you followed the sea, its rhythms and its whispers. And for 3 weeks you've known nothing but the endless expanse of water as far as your eye could see. You move to the front of the canoe, where the rising sun glints off the waves, turning the endless blue into a field of molten gold. You dip your hand into the cool spray, feeling the strength of the swells beneath you, rocking, rolling, a lullaby that both soothes and threatens. The canoe, it is more than just a vessel. It is your world. Its deck, worn smooth by countless journeys, cradles you like a mothership. Its sides, they rise and fall with the rhythm of your own breath. And in the hollow of its bow, nestled among the coiled ropes and fishing nets, is your home. You slept fitfully, tucked into your hammock between the mast and the sails, the constant motion a restless cradle. Now hunger pangs twist in your belly, and you reach for the fish you caught last night, its scales still glistening, its flesh firm and fresh. As you eat, your eyes scan the horizon, searching for a break in the endless blue, for a sign of land, for a miracle. You are a child of the ocean, born and raised on this canoe, and the sea runs through your veins as strong as the currents that pull you along. You've learned its moods, its language, its secrets. You can read the whispers of the wind in the palms, the sigh of the waves as they crest and fall. But even so, the fear of missing your island home, the one constant in your ever-changing world, it claws at you. Every swell that crashes against the side of the canoe is a reminder of the ocean's raw power. Every bird that wheels overhead, a taunting specter of freedom. You yearn to feel the solid ground beneath your feet again, to see the familiar faces of your people, to hear the comforting sounds of your island. But the ocean's embrace is strong, and you are held in its watery depths, tossed upon its breast like a lone feather in a vast and endless sea. You've paddled out into the endless blue, a Polynesian wayfinder in an open ocean canoe. Days blurred into weeks as you navigate by the stars, your course charted by the constellations above. But now the relentless work of the ocean begins to take its toll. The work is relentless. You paddle in shifts with your crew, your arms burning as you drive the canoe through rolling swells. The paddle's weight, carved from dense koa wood, pulls at your shoulders, and salt crusts your lips, the taste sharp and unyielding. The sun climbs, its heat fierce despite the breeze, and you squint against the glare off the water, your eyes stinging. You drink sparingly from a gourd, the coconut water warm but precious, rationed for the days ahead. Hunger gnaws. Your meals are dried fish or taro, chewy and bland, eaten quickly under a canopy of woven leaves that offers scant shade. The canoe, though masterfully built, is cramped, its hulls packed with provisions, leaving little room to rest. You think of home, of Aotearoa, your island home, a paradise of lush valleys and towering volcanoes, a place of warm earth and friendly faces. Now the endless horizon stretches before you, a taunting reminder of the vast emptiness of the ocean. The thought of land, of solid ground beneath your feet, sustains you. The journey continues. The rhythm of the paddles is broken only by the cries of seabirds and the splash of flying fish. The canoe dances on the waves, a tiny speck of humanity adrift in a watery wilderness. Your muscles ache, not just in your arms, but in your back, your shoulders, your legs, every part of your body that is engaged in this epic test of endurance. But there is no rest for the weary. The ocean demands constant attention. One wrong move, one moment of weakness could spell disaster. You watch the sky, reading the signs, feeling the shift in the wind, anticipating the change in the sea. For you are not just paddling a canoe, you are navigating the very essence of the Pacific. You are one with the ocean, its rhythms, its moods, its language. This is more than a journey. It is a communion with the elements. And as the days turn into weeks, you find a strange solace in the solitude, a clarity of purpose that comes from facing the immensity of the sea and knowing that your fate is in your hands. Storms are a constant threat. You've seen clouds gather, their edges dark and heavy, and felt the wind shift, its bite sharper than before. Lash yourself to the mast. The rope chafes your waist, but you do not dare loosen it. Waves crash over the deck. The seas roar, drowning out your crew's shouts. You glance at the others, their faces grim, their bodies tense, and for a moment you see fear mirrored in their eyes. But then they turn their faces back to the storm, their gazes fixed on the horizon, their resolve unwavering. You know they are thinking of the reef, of the jagged teeth hidden just below the surface, waiting to tear the canoe to splinters. You think of the reef too, and the thought of capsizing, of being swallowed by the deep, is a quiet weight on your chest, a numbing fear that does not impede your actions. You trust the canoe's balance, the way it leans into the waves, the strength of its timbers, the knowledge of your ancestors, born from years at sea, guiding your hands on the ropes. Still, you cannot help but glance nervously at the sky, at the angry clouds, now a maelstrom of gray and black, churning and boiling like a giant's cauldron. Lightning splits the sky, momentarily turning day into night, followed by a deafening roar that seems to shake the very foundations of the world. And then another flash, closer this time, followed by a crack of thunder that strikes the water beside the canoe, sending spray flying. You flinch, pulling your legs up to your chest, bracing for the impact, but there is nothing but the rocking of the waves. Sharks trail the boat, their fins cutting through the surface like dark, menacing commas. You see one breach the surface near the stern, its jaws wide, revealing rows of razor-sharp teeth. Another circles the canoe, its body a sleek, dark shadow beneath the churning water. And you know they are drawn to the scent of blood, the taste of fear, the chum of a leaking canoe. To appease the sea spirits, you toss in an offering of fish, one of the smaller ones caught earlier, along with a prayer, a plea for safe passage through the storm. The sharks, as if acknowledging the offering, glide away, disappearing into the depths from which they came. The air grows thick with the scent of rain and salt, a fine spray that stings your face. It is both a torment and a blessing. A torment because it stings your eyes, making it hard to see, and yet a blessing because it is a reminder, a constant, tangible proof that you are alive. You are alive, and you are not alone. The sea may be your enemy today, but it is also your home, and you are part of its eternal rhythm, its dance of death and rebirth, its constant churnings, its endless song. You are the captain of a double canoe. Your vessel cuts through the waves, propelled by the rhythmic thuds of paddles that beat time with the steady pulse of your heart. Ahead, the lookout shouts, urging you to turn toward an uncharted reef. The reef is your lifeline, promising fresh water, a reprieve from the endless salt that stings your lips and eyes. But it's also a danger, a graveyard of sharp coral teeth hidden just below the surface. As you steer the canoe, you scan the horizon, searching for the telltale signs of land, a smudge on the endless blue, or the cry of a shorebird. From the corner of your eye, you see a dolphin breach, a joyous arc against the gray sky. For a moment, you lose yourself in the wonder of the ocean, the vast, timeless expanse that both terrifies and exhilarates you. But the ocean doesn't care about your wonder. It demands your focus. Its rhythm is relentless, its power absolute. And then there it is, a barely perceptible shift in the waves, a subtle change in the wind. Land, relief washes over you. You've read the signs correctly. Your people will live to tell the story of this voyage, of how you, their chief, brought them safely home. As the canoe draws closer to the reef, you brace yourself. Now is the moment of truth. You remember the stories of past voyages, tales of bravery and survival that have been passed down through generations. Your ancestors, legendary navigators, they too faced the wrath of the ocean and lived to tell the tale. Their words echo in your ears, a comforting refrain in the face of the reef's hidden menace. But it's not just the reef you're navigating. There's another presence here too, a master navigator, older and wiser than you, whose eyes hold the secrets of the stars. They've guided countless canoes across the vast Pacific, their wisdom a beacon in the darkest night. You can feel their gaze upon you, a silent assessment of your every move. A misread wave, a misjudged star, a false turn of the tiller, any one of these could spell disaster. The ocean doesn't forgive, doesn't forget. Its memory stretches back millennia. Its moods as shifting and unpredictable as the winds that fill your sails. And then there's the crew, your crew. Perhaps they're kin from your island, bound to you by ties of blood and loyalty. They look to you for guidance, for protection, for life itself. Their voices, though, are a comfort to you, low as they chant, keeping time with the paddles, their words a counterpoint to the relentless rhythm of the waves. In their unity, you find strength, and in their trust, you find purpose. But the ocean doesn't care about your purpose. It only knows its own relentless rhythm. And as the hours pass, that rhythm begins to seep into your bones, to pull at your muscles, to cloud your mind. Exhaustion, the ocean's cruelest trick, creeps into your limbs like the tide, threatening to pull you under. You fight against it, drawing strength from the reef that lies just ahead, from the stories of your ancestors, from the trust of your crew, and from the silent wisdom of the master navigator who has become your lifeline. As night falls, you rest briefly, the canoe drifting under a sky ablaze with stars. You lie on the deck, the wood cool now, the waves a gentle lullaby. The scent of salt and taro lingers, and the distant cry of a shearwater pierces the quiet. Sleep is fitful, broken by the need to check the stars or adjust the sail, its canvas rustling in the wind. This is the life of a Polynesian navigator, a life of skill and endurance, where the ocean's beauty is matched only by its challenges. The sea, with its endless horizons and hidden islands, is your world, a rhythm as constant as the waves beneath you. Imagine yourself there, in that quiet struggle, as the stars guide you onward. This is the second episode in our series. If you haven't already watched the first episode, we highly recommend checking it out to get the most out of this episode. We'll be following a Polynesian voyager as they navigate the open ocean, using nothing but the stars above and the waves crashing below to guide them. You've left the safety of your reef-protected village behind, and now you're on the endless ocean, wind in your hair and spray on your face. Days melt into nights, the sun and stars becoming your only markers of time. Hunger and thirst are your constant companions, urging you onward. Fatigue is a familiar weight on your shoulders, but you push on, driven by the promise of land in the distance, a mirage shimmering on the horizon. Suddenly, a change in the wind, a shift in the waves. Your instincts, honed by generations of seafarers, tell you there is water nearby. Is it an island rising from the sea to offer you respite? Or is it a treacherous reef waiting to claim you? Hope and danger dance before you. With bated breath, you wait for the first sight of land. The anticipation is tangible as the salt spray on your lips. Will it be an island of plenty or peril? Only the ocean knows. And as the Polynesian voyagers of old, you must decipher its secrets to survive. The rhythm of the waves is your only clock. Their crest and fall, your only company. The vastness of the ocean is your world. Its moods your only solace and peril. Here, on the edge of the known world, the line between hope and despair is as thin as the sail that catches the wind, as elusive as the stars that guide your way. The ocean's fury is a force to be reckoned with, yet it's here, in its heart, that Polynesian navigators found their greatest triumphs. Take, for instance, the story of Hatu Matua, a chief who dared to dream beyond the horizon. His tale is one of courage, leadership, and the unbreakable spirit of his people. Hatu Matua wasn't any ordinary chief. He was a dreamer, a visionary who looked beyond the familiar islands and saw the endless possibilities that lay in the embrace of the ocean. When his island home faced the threat of famine, he didn't succumb to despair. Instead, he rallied his people, convinced that somewhere beyond the horizon there was an island of plenty waiting to be discovered. His words, though met with skepticism, were those of unwavering determination. "We shall cross the great water," he declared, "and find a new home." And so began one of the most epic journeys in Polynesian history. Hatu Matua assembled a fleet of canoes, each a vessel of hope, carrying not just provisions, but dreams of a better future. With him were his wife, Rongo, a skilled navigator, and their 2 sons, Mo and Mo, Withy. They sailed for days, guided by the stars and sustained by their leader's indomitable spirit. The ocean, at times their friend, at others their foe, tested their resolve with crashing waves and winds that threatened to tear their sails. But Hatu Matua and his crew endured. They fished in the vast expanse, catching tuna and other fish to keep hunger at bay. They drank rainwater collected in their canoes, each drop a precious resource. As the journey continued, the spirits of the crew ebbed and flowed with the tides. There were moments of elation when a school of fish promised sustenance, and times of despair when the endless horizon offered no glimpse of land. Yet through it all, Hatu Matua remained steadfast, his belief in their mission a beacon in the gathering gloom. After many weeks, the cry of "Land ho!" shattered the monotony of the waves. And as the canoes approached the shore, the sight that greeted them was both breathtaking and humbling. An island fringed with palm trees and white sand beaches stretched before them, a promise of a new beginning. Thus, under the guidance of a leader who dared to dream beyond the horizon, a Polynesian people found not just a new home, but a testament to their courage and endurance. In the face of despair, Hatu Matua had led them to victory, carving their future from the very heart of the ocean. His journey, a saga whispered on the winds, became a legend, a guiding light for generations to come. The year is about 900 CE, and for 3 generations, the people have flourished here on this lush island in the Pacific. But their chief, Hatu Matua, isn't satisfied. Every night he looks up at the stars, searching for guidance. And one night the stars align, pointing the way, he believes, to a new island, a new home. He sees it in his dreams, an island with fertile soil and tall trees, ripe for the taking. But there's a catch. The island is uninhabited, a paradise waiting to be claimed. When he wakes, he calls his people together. He tells them of his dream, of the island paradise, and how they must sail there before sunrise to claim it for themselves. Now, some chiefs might have ordered the construction of great canoes, outfitted them with masts and sails, and then with a mighty roar, they would have set off into the endless blue. But Hatu Matua's people were different. Their canoes were crafted from reeds and vines, not wood, and their sails were made of mats woven from the fibers of the coconut palm. Yet they moved across the ocean with the same grace as their Polynesian cousins. For 7 days they sailed, guided by the stars, until finally they saw it, the island rising from the sea like a sleeping giant. When they landed, it was as if the island itself had been waiting for them. The soil was rich, and the trees were laden with fruit. There was no one else on the island. They were alone. But paradise comes at a price. For as the people settled in, Hatu Matua noticed that the island's resources were dwindling, that the soil was less fertile than he'd seen it in his dreams. And he knew then that the island wasn't meant to be theirs. It was a place of exile, not a home. And so he called his people together once more and told them of his new vision, of a great city that lay beyond the horizon, a city made of stone and ruled by a powerful king. If they left the island at sunrise, he said, they could reach it before sunset. So they set sail, guided once again by the stars, leaving behind the fading paradise. Now, this is where the stories differ. Some say that when they arrived at the new island, they were welcomed with open arms. Others say it was a mighty battle between Hatu Matua's people and the island's inhabitants. What we know is that Hatu Matua didn't stay. He continued to sail, guided by his visions, until he found his final home. He explored the islands of the Eastern Sea, searching for the perfect place to settle, always guided by the stars. And so Hatu Matua became the Polynesian Odysseus, forever searching, forever a wayfarer, his life a testament to the restless spirit of exploration that defines our species. The hero of our story is Hatu Matua, the legendary Polynesian navigator who some believe was the first human to intentionally cross the Pacific Ocean. And yes, before you ask, this is a true story. But let me start at the beginning. Hatu Matua's story begins on an island called Hiva, a place of legend lost to time, perhaps in the Marquesas or another Polynesian archipelago. You can imagine him as a young chief, his skin etched with tattoos of birds and waves, his eyes scanning the sea from a cliff's edge. The air is warm, scented with frangipani and salt, and the sound of drums echoes from a village of thatched huts. Now, tradition tells of a crisis on Hiva, perhaps drought, overpopulation, or conflict that spurred Hatu Matua to seek a new land. Guided by a dream or a priest's vision, he learns of an island to the east, a triangle of volcanic stone where his people might thrive. His decision to sail is bold, for the Pacific is a formidable expanse, its islands mere specks in its embrace. With only the stars and the waves to guide him, Hatu Matua and his crew set sail in a voyaging canoe, one of many that would become known as the double-hull outrigger canoe or the Wa-Akolua. These canoes were not just boats. They were vessels of culture, technology, and exploration, symbols of human ingenuity and daring. They were designed to harness the power of the wind and the currents, to glide across the ocean with ease, carrying not just people and their belongings, but their hopes and dreams for a better life. The journey across the Pacific was fraught with challenges, typhoons, dwindling supplies, and the constant threat of death. Yet Hatu Matua and his crew persevered, driven by their need for survival and their desire for a new home. When they finally reached the shores of their destination, they had accomplished something truly remarkable. They had crossed one of the greatest barriers known to man, and they had done so without any modern navigational tools, just by reading the stars and the waves. Now, the exact location of Hatu Matua's landing is not known, but that doesn't diminish the significance of his voyage. In fact, it adds to the mystery and intrigue of his story. It was likely somewhere in the vast Pacific, an area that encompasses 1/3 of the Earth's surface, an area that includes thousands of islands and millions of people. So who was Hatu Matua? Was he a real historical figure or a mythical hero? The truth is, we may never know. But what we do know is that his story embodies the spirit of exploration and adventure that has always driven humanity forward. He represents the courage to explore the unknown, the determination to overcome any obstacle, and the ingenuity to find a way to make the impossible possible. In a world that often seems too big to explore and too complex to understand, the story of Hatu Matua reminds us that even in the face of overwhelming odds, man's dream can carry him across the greatest oceans and inspire him to reach new heights. So next time you look up at the stars or feel the wind in your hair, remember the story of Hatu Matua, the Polynesian navigator who dared to dream of a new world and make it a reality. Until next time, happy exploring. In the year 1250, Hatu Matua, chief of the Aotearoa tribe, prepares for a voyage across the Tasman Sea to a new island in the east. The voyagers have selected a calm summer's day for their departure. The air is warm, the sky a brilliant blue, the ocean sparkling like a sheet of polished copper. It is a day much like any other, yet in its tranquility, it holds the promise of an epic journey. The voyage is a feat of preparation and faith. You can picture Hatu Matua overseeing the construction of canoes, their hulls carved from massive trees, lashed with coconut fiber and sealed with sap. The scent of freshly cut wood and burning resin fills the air as artisans labor, their chants a rhythm to the work. They are creating not just vessels, but time machines, carrying with them the hopes, dreams, and fears of their people. When the canoes are ready, Hatu Matua gathers his clan, men, women, children, perhaps 100 souls. All are eager to explore the uncharted waters to the east, lured by tales of distant lands and the promise of adventure. They load the canoes with taro and breadfruit, food for the journey, and caged chickens, their clucks mingling with the waves that lap against the bows. The sails are unfurled, woven from pandanus, flapping gently in the breeze. And each canoe is adorned with carvings of sea spirits, their eyes glinting with shell inlays, watching over the voyagers as they set sail. Among them is Hatu Matua, adorned in a feathered cloak, standing tall at the prow of the lead canoe. His gaze is fixed on the horizon, his features etched with determination. With a voice that booms above the lapping waves, he calls upon the stars, Tangaroa, the god of the sea, and Raungo, the god of peace, to guide them on their perilous journey. As the canoes begin their slow drift eastward, the crew settle into their tasks. Some paddle, keeping a steady rhythm to maintain the canoe's momentum. Others haul in the sails, adjusting their course as needed, while still others stand at the bowsprit, keeping a sharp lookout for signs of land or danger. The voyagers are a picture of controlled chaos, their movements precise and efficient, despite the rocking of the seas. Their chants and songs carry across the waves, a testament to their courage and their faith in the gods. The journey is perilous, stretching weeks across an ocean unbroken by land. You can imagine Hatumatua navigating by night, his eyes fixed on constellations like the Southern Cross, their patterns a map passed down through generations. The air is heavy with salt, the deck slick with spray, and the crew paddles in silence, their arms weary but driven by his command. Storms test their resolve. Waves crash over the canoes, the wind howling like a spirit scorned. But Hatumatua's knowledge of swells and birds keeps them on course. Hunger creeps in as supplies dwindle, the taste of dried fish and warm water a constant reminder of their fragility. Yet he rallies his people with stories of their ancestors, their voices a soft hum against the sea's vastness. From the 13th to the 15th century, Hatumatui led his people from what is now the Cook Islands to the shores of Aotearoa, New Zealand, sailing without a rudder or sail, navigating by the stars, an oral tradition guiding their every move. It took 3 months for the fleet to cross the Tasman Sea, a distance of some 1,500 kilometers. To put that in perspective, it's roughly the same as sailing from San Francisco to Vancouver Island in Canada. But unlike the well-documented journeys of European explorers, Hatumatua's voyage remained shrouded in the mists of time. We know he was a navigator and explorer, one of the greatest in the Pacific. But the records of his voyages, passed down through generations by word of mouth, were committed to writing only in the 19th century, long after the events took place. So much of what we know comes from those written accounts, which themselves are based on the memories and traditions of a people. Historians believe that Hatumatua's fleet consisted of about 20 canoes, each carrying up to 50 people. They traveled light, bringing with them only what they could carry on their backs and in their canoes: food, tools, weapons, sacred objects, and the knowledge that sustained them. Their diet consisted mainly of fish, which they caught using hooks made from bone or wood. They also gathered shellfish and seaweed. When the fish ran low, they turned to the Polynesian god of the ocean for sustenance. But it wasn't just the physical journey that was arduous. The crew faced many dangers, including sharks, which sometimes attacked the canoes. To protect themselves, the crew paddled in silence to avoid alerting the sharks to their presence. If a shark did attack, they fought back with sticks and stones until it swam away. They also had to contend with the elements. Storms could last for days, and when the canoes capsized, the crew had to work together to get them upright again. But Hatumatua's knowledge of the sea and the stars kept them on course and ensured their eventual success. It's a story that has been passed down through generations, a testament to the courage and determination of Hatumatua and his crew. As you listen to these tales, you can almost hear the whisper of the waves and feel the spray on your face, reminding us of the incredible journey that shaped the course of history. The year is 12 CE. The time is early morning. The scene, the island of Rapa Nui, also known as Easter Island, where a fleet of double canoes has just arrived. On board are the first settlers from Hiva o Te'e, also known as the island of Rewa Vai, a group of about 70 men, women, and children who have voyaged for 36 days on the ocean in these. They've come to this remote island in the southeastern Pacific Ocean because they were told there'd be plenty of fish in the sea here, birds in the sky, and a large population of wild pigs. Pigs that would be easy prey for the people if they could domesticate them. They also brought with them chickens, dogs, pigs, and rats, as well as sweet potatoes, bananas, coconut palms, sugarcane, and breadfruit. In other words, everything they need to survive and thrive. As the canoes approach the rocky shore, the men paddle with long sweeping strokes, while the women and children sing a chant to the island's gods, hoping for a safe landing. The canoes touch down on the beach, and everyone helps unload the provisions, the plants, the animals, the stones, and the treasures they've brought with them from their homeland. Hatu Matua, the leader of the migration, steps out of his canoe and takes a deep breath. He looks around at the lush, green hills and valleys and smiles. This island is even better than they'd imagined. He walks toward the highest peak, the island's Rano Raraku volcano, and raises his arms in victory. His people have made it. They are now the undisputed masters of this new world. Hatu Matua names the island's north coast Ua, or Weeping Woman, and its south coast Ata, or Immortal. Then he turns his attention to the fertile slopes of the island, dividing the land among his clan, naming chiefs to settle its coasts. And by nightfall, the fires of 7 clans dot the hills like stars fallen to earth. The people celebrate with dances and feasts, sharing stories of their long journey and the adventures that lie ahead. It is a moment of quiet triumph, a celebration of the human spirit, as ability to dream of a new world and then make it a reality. It is a moment to remember, a moment to treasure, a moment that will live on in legend and song. This is the beginning of the story of Rapa Nui, the remote island in the Indian Ocean that is home to some of the world's most famous statues. But how did those statues get there? And what happened to the people who built them? To find out, stay tuned for more information. Rapa Nui, also known as Easter Island, is famous for its enigmatic statues called moai. But did you know that behind these silent sentinels lies a rich history of leadership, unity, and resilience? Let's meet the leader whose name echoes through time, Hatu Matua. As the paramount chief of a united Rapa Nui, he led his people during the island's formative years. Imagine him striding across the island, his gaze fixed on the horizon, his footsteps leaving deep imprints on the soft earth. His leadership was a guiding light, shaping the early days of Rapa Nui. You can imagine him organizing the planting of crops, the building of stone platforms, ahu, for rituals and ceremonies, and the carving of moai, the iconic statues that would later define the island. The clank of basalt tools on stone, the scent of dust and sea breeze fills the air as his people work. Their unity, a testament to his vision. But challenges arose. Rival clans, each with their own ambitions and disputes, simmering beneath the island's open sky, tested the strength of his rule. Resources like timber grew scarce, casting a shadow of uncertainty over the island's future. Through it all, Hatu Matua remained steadfast. He navigated these tensions with diplomacy, his words measured, calm and strong, like the crashing waves against the reef. He was a beacon of stability for his people, his presence an anchor in the midst of the storm. It is said that he ruled until his hair turned white as snow, his legacy forever entwined with the moai and the stories sung by his descendants. Each moai standing tall, like a silent guardian, bearing witness to the leadership of Hatu Matua. As we explore more about Rapa Nui, stay tuned for more stories of courage, unity, and tradition. Let the spirit of Hatu Matua, the leader whose name echoes through time, inspire you to be a force for good in your own story. Thanks for watching. See you next time. The Pacific Ocean, a vast expanse of water dotted with thousands of islands, was first navigated and settled by the skilled voyagers of Polynesia. And among them, one name stands out, Hatu Matua, also known as Ut Rangiora. Our story starts around 1300 A.D. in the Cook Islands, where, according to legend, Hatu Matua was born. But his birth was no ordinary event. It was foretold by a star, a sign from the gods that a great leader would soon walk the earth. This leader would unite the people, restore order, and guide them to new lands across the endless ocean. When he grew up, Hatu Matua set sail from the Cook Islands in a large double-hull canoe called the Te Arawa. His destination, the island of Rarotonga, where his mother's people awaited his arrival. But the journey was fraught with peril. Storms raged, supplies dwindled, and the crew suffered from scurvy. Yet Hatu Matua remained steadfast, drawing strength from the promise etched in his heart and the star that shone above. After 18 months, they sighted land. It was Rarotonga, an emerald jewel in the ocean. With aching limbs and hearts full of hope, they landed and emerged as heroes. The people welcomed him with open arms, and soon he became the chief of Iorengi, a title bestowed upon their greatest leaders. But the spirit of adventure was not dormant in him. He yearned to push further, to discover the limits of the ocean and claim new lands for his people. So he did what any great leader would do. He called for the best navigators, craftsmen, and warriors to join him on a voyage of discovery. Their destination was the island of Samoa, a place spoken of only in myths and legends. The journey took 2 years and 3 months, a testament to their skill and endurance as they braved the wrath of the sea and the unknown. When they finally reached Samoa, it was like stepping into another world. Lush rainforests, towering mountains, and a people untouched by outsiders. He explored this newfound land, naming its islands and leaving behind the first settlers from the Cook Islands. He continued his exploration, traveling to Tonga, Fiji, and finally New Zealand. Everywhere he went, he left an indelible mark, a legacy that would echo through generations. In New Zealand, tradition holds that he landed at a place called Riotaki, near present-day Auckland. Here, his footprints are said to be preserved in the rocks at low tide, a tangible connection to his extraordinary journey. The exact details of Hatu Matua's life are lost to time, yet his essence remains. In the oral tales passed down through generations, his name echoes, reminding the Polynesian people of their shared heritage and the incredible feats of their ancestors. Archaeological finds tell a similar tale. Remnants of canoes that once roamed the Pacific, the earliest settlements on distant shores, all point to a migration from Polynesia, a migration that Hatu Matua may have played a part in. As we stand on the cliffs of his final years, let's take a moment to truly picture the scene. The endless sea stretches before us, mirroring the vastness of his dreams. The sun glistens on the waves, a reminder of the hardships he endured to bring light to distant lands. The wind whispers through the palms, carrying tales of his courage and determination. His tattoos, though faded, tell stories of his lineage and his journey. And he, our hero, stands tall, his eyes fixed on the horizon, his spirit unbroken, ready to face whatever challenges lie ahead. His voyage, a thread in the rich tapestry of Polynesian history, speaks of a people who conquered the ocean with their skill, courage, and an unquenchable thirst for adventure. As we watch his canoe fade into the endless horizon, let's take a moment to appreciate the magnitude of his journey. Each stroke of his paddle was a testament to the indomitable spirit of exploration that defines our Polynesian brothers. Hadu Matua's dream, to find new lands and unite his people, led him across the Pacific, leaving an enduring legacy in his wake. Now, as we stand on the precipice of another thrilling chapter in our exploration of the Pacific, let us draw strength from Hatu Matua's story. Just as he braved the unknown, venturing far beyond the familiar horizon, so too must we dare to explore the uncharted waters of our own lives. And now, as the tale of Hatu Matua begins to settle gently upon the shores of our memories, it's time to turn our attention to a new enigma that beckons from the very heart of the sea. Prepare to be captivated as we dive into the depths of Nan Madol, the mysterious island kingdom that rose and fell with the tides of time. What secrets lie hidden within its ancient walls? Join us as we unravel the mysteries of Nan Madol, the most extraordinary island city of the Pacific. Here on this forgotten reef city, history seems to have paused. Between sky and sea, these ruins whisper tales of a forgotten people, the master builders of Nan Madol. But who were they? And why did they build this extraordinary city? As we navigate the maze of canals and crumbling platforms, remnants of a sophisticated society unfold before us. A society that thrived between the 8th and 13th centuries, leaving behind not only architectural marvels, but also intriguing artifacts like this intricately carved stone tablet. Discovered in 1976, it's one of over 500 found throughout Nan Madol, each bearing unique patterns and symbols. What stories do they tell? Sadly, the script remains undeciphered, leaving us to marvel at its artistry without understanding its meaning. The great stones themselves are a testament to human ingenuity and perseverance. Over 2,000 years ago, the builders of Nan Madol ventured into the open ocean, hauling massive logs from distant forests. Using rudimentary tools, they shaped these stones, then dragged them across the reef, creating canals, platforms, and walls. But how did they move these immense stones? The answer may lie in this half-sunken platform, a possible boat basin. Here, according to local legend, the builders anchored their canoes, transporting the stones from the forest to the sea. Using a system of levers and rollers, they moved these massive blocks, laying them down as foundations for houses, temples, and a vast network of pathways. This is pure speculation, but perhaps skilled navigators, they read the stars, aligning the structures with celestial bodies. Some believe the central canal mirrors the Milky Way, while others see the rising sun reflected in the eastern arm of the reef. But why build this city on a reef? Was it a planned capital or an accidental refuge? Some scholars suggest that rising sea levels forced inland communities to flee, taking refuge on higher ground, building Nan Madol as a last-ditch effort to maintain their culture. Others propose that the city's strategic location on a trade route made it a prosperous hub, protected from invaders by its watery embrace. Sadly, we may never know the true story of Nan Madol. Its builders vanished long before Christopher Columbus set sail for the New World, leaving behind no written records, only myths and memories. Yet as we explore these timeless ruins, we feel a profound connection to the past. We see ourselves in the sweat and toil of the builders, in their dreams of prosperity and peace. Nan Madol is more than a lost city. It's a symbol of human resilience and creativity, a reminder that even in the face of rising waters, the human spirit can soar. Rising from the turquoise waters of the Pacific Ocean, 92 artificial islets sprawled across an area of over 3 square kilometers. This is non-Natal, a breathtaking testament to human ingenuity and a landscape like no other. Welcome to our channel. Imagine a vast network of canals weaving in and out of these islets, forming a watery labyrinth that once served as the beating heart of a thriving Polynesian settlement. Picture tall, proud walls rising up to 10 meters in some places, constructed without the use of mortar, yet somehow standing strong against the relentless ocean winds. Envision the glistening basalt prisms catching the sunlight, creating a mesmerizing play of colors and shadows. But it's not just the visual spectacle that makes non-Natal so captivating. As you explore this ancient city, you can almost hear the rhythmic splash of paddles dipping into the water as silent canoes glide through the waterways. The air is alive with the gentle rustling of palm fronds, swaying in the breeze from the nearby shore. And overhead, the air is filled with the haunting cry of seabirds circling above. The question is, how did this extraordinary place come into existence? The story of Namadol is one of ambition, innovation, and the relentless spirit of the human mind. Between the 12th and 17th centuries, the Sautelur dynasty made this island their home, transforming it into a hub of power, religion, and culture. But they were not a people with advanced tools at their disposal. They lacked metal tools, wheels, or beasts of burden. Their ingenuity was their most valuable asset. With nothing more than what they could carry in their hands and the bounty of the surrounding waters, they set about creating their dream city. They constructed massive stone structures by hand, quarrying, shaping, and transporting huge blocks of basalt and limestone. These stones, some weighing several tons, were then meticulously stacked and fitted together without the aid of mortar. Over the centuries, Nanmadol grew and thrived. Its population swelled, its influence spread, and its legacy endured. Today, Nanmadol stands as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, a symbol of human achievement and a reminder of the incredible civilizations that once called this place home. If you could travel back in time and stroll through the bustling markets, witness the sacred rituals, and feel the energy of a thriving society, you would truly understand the magic of Nanmadol. It's a place that seems almost otherworldly, a Polynesian marvel that continues to captivate and inspire awe in all who behold it. Now, this is one of the ancient world's most mind-boggling structures. But what do you think? What other hidden gems of our planet would you like to uncover with us? Let us know in the comments below. And while you're there, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join our incredible community of explorers. Together, we uncover more fascinating stories and embark on more adventures without ever leaving the comfort of your seat. So sit tight, because we've only just begun to explore the wonders that await us. In the watery embrace of the Pacific Ocean, amidst the vibrant chaos of coral reefs and the ceaseless dance of marine life, lies a secret that's been waiting for centuries to be uncovered. It's a story etched in stone, quite literally. And archaeologists are the ones holding the pieces, or rather, the fragments of this ancient narrative. Their hands, brushing coral dust from weather-beaten stones, are the instruments of discovery. Each rock monolith whispering tales of a bygone era. Picture this, a team of explorers, their faces etched with the sun and salt of faraway lands, haul in a massive basalt log. Its edges are still sharp, a testament to the skill and grit of the ancient quarrymen who hewed it from the Saucus rock, a sight that's miles away. But how did these stones find their way here? The answer lies hidden beneath layers of time and tradition. Oral traditions speak of canoes, not just any canoes, mind you, but ones that were carefully lashed together to form a floating platform, a raft of sorts, upon which these massive logs were placed. These logs, too, are not mere pieces of driftwood. They are basalt monoliths, remnants of a time when men harnessed the power of the tides to move mountains, or at least large rocks. Guided by the rhythm of the sea, they floated across the lagoons, their chants a harmonious blend of human endeavor and natural cadence. The air would have been thick with the scent of salt water and sweat, the taste of which lingered on the lips like a briny prayer. Each movement of the raft a synchronized ballet of muscle and will as they hauled in the stones one by one, placing them with deliberate precision. Radiocarbon dating has offered a glimpse into this saga, placing the construction of non-metal around 1180 CE. But this is more than just a collection of dates. It's a snapshot of an era when societies were not just building structures, they were crafting legacies. Think about the labor involved, the countless hands that must have toiled over generations to bring this vision to reality. Perhaps thousands of workers, their individual efforts merging into a collective masterpiece. Was this a labor of devotion, or was it a command, a testament to a leader's authority? The stones themselves, cool to the touch, seem to hum with the effort of those who shaped them. They are silent sentinels that have stood the test of time, bearing witness to the ebb and flow of history. And as archaeologists piece together the fragments of non-metal's story, they do so with reverence. For in these fragments, they find not just the remnants of a civilization, but the echoes of a spirit, the spirit of a people who dared to dream big and build even bigger. What's the point of a city, really? A place to live, somewhere to store your stuff, a base to launch your empire from. But what if I told you there was a city whose purpose was as intriguing as its construction? Welcome to this series. Today we're exploring Nan-Madol, a city in the Indian Ocean that was built for a reason that may surprise you. Imagine a huge chief's hall, its roof thatched with palm, where leaders held court, while artisans burned coconut oil nearby, filling the air with an enticing aroma. The largest of 4 islands in the Maldives, Nan-Madol was likely a political and religious hub. Its islets were divided by rank, with temples for priests at the top and residences for nobles below, even a mortuary for the dead. Along the way, there are remnants of pottery and shell ornaments, their surfaces worn smooth by time, hinting at a vibrant community. But why build on a reef, a place so exposed to the fury of the ocean, to the rhythm of the tides? It's a valid question, one that has puzzled scientists and historians alike. Some believe it was a strategic move, a way to showcase the settlers' power over the sea. Others, however, point to the spiritual significance of the site. The islets, they say, were aligned with stars or sacred sites, their canals mirroring the order of the cosmos. As you stand on the shore, the water shimmering under the relentless sun, it's hard not to feel a sense of awe. The ocean breeze carries the whisper of centuries past, of rituals performed and lives lived on these tiny coral islets. What purpose could be more profound than that? But now it's time to hear from you. What do you think? Why would someone build a city on a reef? Share your thoughts below. And hey, don't forget to subscribe for more updates. Who knows where our journey will take us next? Until then, keep exploring. The world is full of wonders, and you never know what treasures of history you might uncover. Just remember to stay curious. That's all for now. See you next time. The mystery deepens. Around the 17th century, Nan Madol was abruptly abandoned. Its stones were left to the mangroves. Their roots curled over the walls like a gentle embrace. You can almost feel the presence of the Sodalur here, their bustling city, now a sunken ruin. So what happened? Why did this once great city fall into disuse? Was it a rebellion, as the oral tales claim? Was it disease, or a series of devastating storms? Perhaps the Sodalur were indeed overthrown by a rival chief named Lalui, who then ruled over Nan Madol and Pohnpei. Maybe he's the one who ordered the temples to be destroyed, leaving only the standing stones as silent witnesses to his fury. Or perhaps it was disease that weakened the city, causing its people to flee to the inland hills of Pohnpei, where they still live today. Some archaeologists believe that a small virus known as Yap, which caused massive respiratory infections, could have been the culprit. It's a tragic theory, but if true, it would explain why so many Sodalur skeletons have been found near the shore, as if the people were trying to escape the illness by fleeing to the sea. Then there's the environmental theory. Rising sea levels or the depletion of fish could have strained the resources of Nan Madol, forcing its people to abandon the city and head for the hills. But the stones offer no answers. Their surfaces are as smooth and unblemished as the day they were erected, except for the etchings of time. Scattered throughout the ruins are other clues, broken tools and piles of shells, remnants of a society that thrived here until it didn't. One site known as the Brick Kill tells another story. Here, amidst the rubble, archaeologists found shards of Chinese porcelain and fragments of Japanese sword blades. These treasures suggest a connection to the vast trading networks that once crisscrossed the Pacific, bringing wealth and power to those who controlled them. What brought the Sodalur to power in the first place was their control of obsidian, a valuable resource used for tools and weapons. But as the centuries passed, new sources of obsidian were discovered, and the Sodalur's monopoly on this vital resource began to slip. By the 16th century, they were fighting to maintain their dominance, battling the neighboring Matlab people in a struggle for power that may have weakened the Sodalur and left them vulnerable to the forces that ultimately brought them down. Did the Sodalur fall to rebellion, disease, or the changing tides of fortune? The truth is, we may never know. The stones of Nan Madol hold their secrets close, and the whispers of the past offer only fragments of the story. What is certain is that this once great city fell into decline around the 17th century, abandoned and left to the relentless march of time. If you want to know more about ancient mysteries, stay tuned. Welcome to my channel. This is Nan Madol, a lost city in the Pacific. Imagine if the island of Manhattan had vanished beneath the waves. Skyscrapers toppled, reduced to a watery grave, swallowed by the sea. Now picture a Polynesian Manhattan, a city of towering stone walls rising from the ocean. This is Nan Madol, a sacred site revered by Pohnpei's people. Its ruins are a testament to the ingenuity of Polynesia's ancient builders. You can picture a modern islander, their paddles soft in the water, visiting the city to honor their ancestors. The air is heavy with respect as they navigate the submerged passages between the islets. Their journey is a pilgrimage, a tangible connection to the past. In recent years, scholars have begun to grasp the magnitude of this place. Its engineering rivals the Great Moai of Easter Island, the massive stone heads carved by the Rapa Nui people, or the intricate temples of Hawaii, the pyramids of the Pacific. But Nan Madol's true genius lies in its design. As you stand on an islet, the tide cool against your feet, the city feels timeless. Its mystery is a quiet invitation to wonder. Who built these walls and what drove them to defy the sea? The answers, like the canoes that once sailed here, have slipped into the ocean's depths. The first explorers to reach Nanmadol were the Spanish. They were searching for gold and glory, but what they found was a city lost to time. The islanders who had lived there had vanished, leaving behind only the ghosts of their great walls. For centuries, Nanmadol was a sacred site, a place where the living could connect with the spirits of their ancestors. But as the world changed, so did the way people thought about the past. In the 19th century, Nanmadol was looted, its treasures sold to the highest bidder. Today, it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, protected from further damage, but the scars of the past are still visible. The buildings are crumbling, and the once vibrant culture has been all but forgotten. But there is hope. In recent years, the government of Pohnpei has invested in restoring Nanmadol. They've cleared away the debris and are working to rebuild the walls. It's a slow process, but it's a necessary one if they want to preserve this important part of their history. One day, Nanmadol will be whole again, a testament to the Polynesian people and their incredible achievements. Visitors from around the world will come to marvel at its beauty and learn about its rich history. And the people of Pohnpei will finally be able to put their history back on solid ground. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. This is Nanmadol, an ancient Polynesian city swallowed by the sea. It's scattered across a ring of islets in the vast expanse of the Indian Ocean, a place where land meets water in a timeless embrace. As the sun climbs higher, the breeze stirs, carrying the scent of salt and distant rain. The stones, though silent, seem to whisper of a people who shaped the sea to their will. A low wall built long ago to keep out the ocean's fury. But now it's the ocean that has claimed this place for itself, eroding the foundations of a forgotten society. The ruins of Nanmadol are a labyrinth of history. Basalt columns rise like spectral dancers from the turquoise depths, their shadows stretching and contorting in the play of light and water. Each rock monolith is a testament to the ingenuity and resilience of the Lapita people, who over 2,000 years ago settled these scattered islands and built a society that thrived despite the sea's capricious nature. Their ingenuity is evident in the intricate patterns of the walls, which once formed a protective barrier against the relentless waves. Now they stand as silent sentinels, their rough surfaces worn smooth by centuries of wind and water. As I walk along the narrow passages between the rock formations, the rising tide whispers against the stones, creating a haunting melody that echoes through time. It's a place where the boundary between land and water is blurred, where the very essence of the Polynesian spirit seems to linger. In this watery realm, the past and present intertwine. The salty spray of the ocean mingles with the sweet scent of plumeria carried on the warm breeze. The sound of crashing waves provides a constant rhythm, a reminder of the ocean's eternal presence. And yet, amidst this watery embrace, there is a strange stillness. The ruins of Nanmadol are a sanctuary of tranquility, a place where one can escape the noise of the world and immerse oneself in the timeless embrace of the islands. The heart of Nanmadol is defined by two large platforms, each a hub of activity in this once bustling city. One platform, now crumbling into the sea, was likely the ceremonial center, a place where rituals honoring the gods of the deep were performed. The other, more intact platform, may have been the home of the city's leaders, a testament to the Lapita's hierarchical society. Yet it is the everyday lives of the people that I find most intriguing. How did they navigate these winding waterways in their canoes? What stories did they carve in the basalt? What songs did they sing as they hauled in their fish? Exploring these ruins is like piecing together a fragmented dream. The ocean, both life source and destructive force, has left its mark on every stone here. The city's demise remains a mystery, perhaps swallowed by the sea that sustained it, its people vanishing like the foam on a receding wave. Was it a slow decline or a sudden cataclysm? The stones offer no answers, only their silent, weathered faces. But as the sun begins its descent, casting long shadows across the platforms, I feel a profound sense of connection to those who came before me. Here in the fading light, Nan Madol takes on a mystical air, the silhouette of a fisherman against the fiery sky, the haunting cry of a frigate bird, the gentle sway of the pandanus trees. All these elements combine to create a sense of Polynesian magic. It is a reminder that this place, though lost to time, was once a vibrant hub of human activity, a testament to the enduring spirit of the Polynesian people. Let your mind linger here, in the quiet of the unknown, as the city's mystery wraps around you like a gentle wave. In this sacred space where land and water converge, we are reminded of the ephemeral nature of human endeavors. But we are also reminded of the enduring power of the human spirit. For Nan Madol is more than just a collection of ruins. It is a story of a people who dared to dream of a life on the edge of the sea. It is a story that continues to resonate in the hearts of those who visit this sacred place. From the stone canals of Nan Madol, let's turn to a different facet of the Polynesian world, one of sacred power and spiritual duty. Imagine yourself not on a canoe or a reef, but in the Marquesas Islands, where a tattooed priest communes with the divine. Welcome, Tohonga, priest of the islands, your island home. The Marquesas Islands rise from the sea like jagged teeth. Their slopes are covered in a thick forest that teems with life. The air is alive with the songs of unseen birds and the buzz of insects. The scent of blooming flowers hangs heavy, mingling with the salty tang of the ocean spray. You feel the warmth of the sun on your skin, the soft caress of the breeze on your shoulders, the comforting weight of your feathered headdress, swaying gently atop your head. It is a world away from the navigator's perilous journey across the vast ocean, a world of calm and beauty. Here, danger seems a distant memory. You are revered as a Tohonga, a priest who can commune with the gods. Your body is a canvas of intricate tattoos, swirls of birds and waves and gods, each inked line a testament to your sacred role. The skin around your tattoos ripples when you move, shimmering with a life of their own under the sun's warm gaze. The fibers of your tapa-cloth cape rustle softly as you step onto the hard-packed earth of the village square. The villagers, adorned in their finest garments, await your blessing. Their eyes, bright with anticipation, turn towards you, seeking your touch, your guidance, your wisdom. You raise your hands, palms out, fingers spread wide, feeling the weight of their gazes upon you. For a moment, time seems to stand still. The only sound, the gentle murmur of the villagers, the rustling of the trees in the distance, the rhythmic crash of the waves against the shore. And then you begin to chant, your voice deep and resonant, weaving magic into the air. The words flow from you, each syllable a prayer, a plea to the gods for the well-being of your people, for bountiful harvests, for safe journeys, for peace within the tribe. Your eyes, closed in concentration, open, revealing a sky of endless blue, mirroring the boundless love you have for your island, your people, your life. In this sacred space, amidst the vibrant pulse of the island, you are more than just a priest. You are a living deity, a channel through which the gods speak, a conduit of their love and power. You are the Tohunga, the priest of the Marquesas Islands, and this is your world. Your day begins at dawn, as the sky blushes pink over the ocean. You rise from a mat in a fail, a thatched house open to the breeze, its wooden pillars carved with ancestral faces. The air is cool, carrying the scent of smoldering coconut husks from a nearby fire. Your tattoos, earned through painful rituals, are a testament to your status. Each design, inked with bone combs and soot, tells of your lineage and devotion. You don your ceremonial attire, the tapa cloth rustling softly, and anoint yourself with coconut oil, its sheen catching the light. Attendants, quiet and respectful, bring you a bowl of poi, its taro flavor earthy and smooth. You eat slowly, preparing for the day's duties. As the first rays of sunlight touch the horizon, you step out of your fail and into the vibrant heart of your village. The sounds of the morning greet you, the rhythmic pounding of wooden hammers shaping canoes, the excited chatter of children playing, the gentle murmur of adults tending to their gardens. Life here flows at a pace dictated by nature, a stark contrast to the relentless ticking of clocks that governed your previous existence. Your responsibilities are many. You oversee the planting and harvesting of crops, ensuring the village remains nourished. You settle disputes, offering guidance and wisdom to those seeking it. And when the time is right, you lead your people in the ancient dances, movements that have been passed down for generations, each step and gesture imbued with meaning. In the evenings, after the day's heat has faded into a gentle warmth, you gather with your people. Stories are shared, songs are sung, and the stars, unfiltered by city lights, blaze a path across the velvety night sky. The flickering light of the fire dances in your eyes, reflecting the contentment of a life lived in harmony with tradition and the natural world. This is your life now. A world away from the clamor and chaos of the modern world, you have found solace in the rhythm of the island. The ocean's ebb and flow, the whisper of the wind through the trees, the pulse of your people's laughter and song, all blend into a symphony that resonates deep within your soul. Here, time is not measured in seconds, minutes, and hours, but in the timeless cycles of the earth. And in this timelessness, you have found peace. As the leader of your people, your role is one of service, of ensuring the continued harmony between humanity and the natural world. Every decision you make, every action you take is guided by the belief that the spiritual realm is intertwined with the everyday one. Today, you walk to the Maori, a sacred stone platform nestled in a valley. The air is thick with the scent of burning sandalwood, a smoke that carries prayers to the gods. The Maori is the place where you commune with the spirits, where you bring the concerns of your people before the deities and receive their blessings. You are not alone. Your subjects follow you, their faces a mixture of hope and reverence. They have come to pay homage to Tain, the god of the forest, and Kangaroa, the lord of the sea. Their lives, their hopes and dreams are deeply entwined with the natural world, and they need the god's favor. The ceremony is not a new thing. It has been done for generations. You know the steps well, but each ritual is unique, tailored to the needs of the people. Today, you call upon Tirongo, the god of peace and fertility, to bless the crops that have just begun to grow. You also pray for safe voyages for those who will sail across the sea in search of new lands and new life. and you ask for healing for the sick, for guidance for the lost. Your chants rise above the soft beat of a pahu drum, a sound that echoes the steady pulse of the earth. With each chant, you feel a connection to the past, to the ancestors who first taught your people how to read the stars, how to navigate the seas, how to live in harmony with the natural world. You feel their presence in the rustling leaves, in the crashing waves, in the beating heart of the drum. And then there is the gift, an offering of breadfruit or fish, their textures familiar under your hands. You place them on the altars, not to appease the gods, but as a sign of respect, as a way of saying thank you. The fish, caught with the knowledge that it will feed not only your people, but the gods as well. The breadfruit, picked when it is perfectly ripe, ready to be shared. As you offer the gifts, you feel the presence of the gods, not in a blinding flash or a booming voice, but in the gentle sway of the trees, in the calming rhythm of the sea. The distant roar of the ocean, echoing through the valley, feels like a reply, a confirmation that the gods have received your offering, that they have heard your prayers. And with that knowledge, you lead your people back to their homes, carrying the blessings of the gods within you. The wisdom of the ages flows through your veins, Elder. You have seen the world shift and change, yet you remain a steady rock, a living monument to the beliefs that have weathered the storms of time. When the younger ones look up at you, they see not just an elder, but a keeper of the past, a living link to the days of old. They watch you how you read the omens in the flight of birds, or the shape of clouds, their patterns a language taught to you by your elders, a language you have mastered so well that you can speak it in your sleep. They see how you consult with the chiefs, your voice calm and measured as you advise them on planting seasons or war, your words carrying the weight of countless moons, your wisdom guiding their decisions. The scent of woven mats and roasted pork lingers in these meetings, grounding you, reminding you of the generations who sat in these very halls before you, making this place, this moment, this life feel sacred. You teach young initiates, eager minds soaking up your knowledge like a dry sponge in a sea of teachings. Their eyes are wide with wonder as they learn the ancient chants, the words flowing through you like a river finding its way to the sea, a journey that began long before you were born and will continue long after you're gone. Your wisdom is a treasure, Elder, carefully guarded as the shell ornaments you wear their soft clink, a reminder of your role. A role you have filled with grace and dignity, keeping the traditions alive, making sure the stories are told, the songs are sung, the dances are learned. And when the night is dark and the spirits are near, you call upon the ancestors, your voice strong and clear, a beacon in the darkness, guiding the lost, comforting the weary, reminding all who listen that they are never truly alone. For they are bound together by the invisible threads of time, woven into the very fabric of existence. So we gather around you, Elder, listening to your stories, learning from your wisdom, for you are the keeper of our history, the living memory of our people, and we are forever in your debt. Your life is one of privilege, yet not without burden. You fast before major rituals, your body light, your spirit focused, the hunger a quiet offering to the gods. When you do eat, your meals are bountiful, roasted pig, yams, and coconut, served on banana leaves in a communal feast. The air is alive with laughter and song. The sound of waves against the shore, a constant undercurrent, soothes the gathering. But power brings scrutiny. Rival priests, their tattoos as intricate as yours, watch for errors. Their whispers are a threat in the marae's shadows. The gods, too, are exacting. A failed ritual could bring drought or storms, and the weight of their judgment rests heavy on your shoulders. You are the chief priest of a powerful tribe. Your influence stretches from the sacred Maori to the distant settlements, where commoners live in thatched huts and fish in the lagoons. They come to you for justice, for protection, for a way to appease the gods and ensure bountiful crops and safe passage across the treacherous seas. You are their link to the divine, and your every action is watched, judged, and copied by your peers. Your rivals, the bird clan, control the sacred fire that animates your temple. Without their cooperation, your rituals are meaningless. Their priests, adorned with the same symbols of power, would disrupt your ceremonies, sowing seeds of doubt in the minds of your people. They are a constant irritation, like the buzzing of insects around a honeypot. The ocean, your domain, is vast and dangerous, a mirror to the turbulent power struggles on land. Storms brew quickly there, whipped by winds that can split open a hull and drown a man in an instant. Navigating its treacherous currents requires skill and courage, qualities that have made you famous throughout the islands. But even the sea has its limits. There are places where the gods themselves are said to reside, hidden in the depths or dwelling in caves of coral and pearls. To enter such places is to risk incurring the gods' wrath. Yet it is also here, in the face of danger, that you have found your greatest triumphs and your most bitter defeats. Battles with rival chiefs have stained your hands and your soul with the blood of your own people. The cries of dying warriors echo in your nightmares, a haunting reminder of the cost of power. As the sun sets over the horizon, you stand alone on the shore, a vast expanse of water and sky reflecting the turmoil within you. What will you do next? Will you seek to expand your influence or consolidate your power? The choice is yours, chief priest. The fate of your people, your rivals, and the gods themselves hang in the balance. Your people are strong. Your people are proud. They look up to you, revere you even. But that means they also depend on you. When it's time to build a new Maori, they come to you. They seek your blessing and your guidance, and you oblige. You oversee the work, making sure the young men know how to set the basalt slabs just so, how to make the tools sing as they shape the rock. The clink of hammer and chisel mingle with the chants of the men as they work, and you move among them, a living embodiment of tradition. But your work is not only in the shaping of stone, it is also in the shaping of the people. You are the keeper of the knowledge, the link to the past, the wisdom of your ancestors flowing through you. When the Maori is completed, they come to you. They ask for your blessing before they enter the sacred space. And when they return, they bring you the first fruits of their harvest, the first fish from the nets, the first meat from the hunt, all shared in the spirit of the gift, all blessed by you before they are eaten. You walk the village paths, your bare feet barely making a sound on the beaten earth. Everywhere you go, people pause their work to acknowledge you. Some rise to their feet, heads bowed in respect. Others rush to greet you, their words tumbling over one another in their eagerness to tell you of their triumphs and their woes. For they know that you, more than anyone, can help them, not only because you have the knowledge, but because you have the ear of the gods. And you listen, you hear their stories, offering a word of advice, a touch of comfort, or a firm hand on the shoulder, guiding them as they navigate the complexities of life, as they struggle to uphold the traditions in a world that is ever-changing. Yet when the day is done, and the villagers have retreated to their homes, you are still here. The ocean breeze whispers through the palms, the waves crashing into the shore, a ceaseless rhythm that has been here long before the first human set foot on this land. And you stand at the edge of the world, the vastness of the sea stretching out before you, reminding you of the world's immensity, a world that both needs you and can do without you. For a moment, the responsibility weighs heavy on your shoulders. Are you truly up to the task? Can you continue to be the pillar of strength, the unwavering guide for your people? And then the sun dips below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, and the stars begin to emerge, one by one, until the heavens are a tapestry of light. The scent of night-blooming flowers fills the air, carried on the gentle breeze. It's a scent that speaks of magic and mystery, a reminder of the spiritual world that surrounds you. You turn back to the Maori, the heart of your village, the place where the physical and the spiritual converge. The shadows have lengthened, the fire has died down, leaving glowing embers that mirror the stars above. You step into the darkness, your silhouette outlined against the fading light. And there, in the hushed stillness of the night, you offer a final chant, a prayer, a song, or perhaps a warning, the words soft as the tide rolling in, the words carrying on the wind, reaching those who can hear, reaching those who must listen. For you are more than just a priest, you are a warrior, your body adorned with tattoos, a map of your duty, a testament to your lineage. Each line, each curve, each spiral tells a story of courage, of battles fought and won, of ancestors who came before. You are a walking, breathing history, a living legend. And as the stars wheel overhead and the tide ebbs and flows, you find your rhythm again, the heartbeat of the island, the pulse of the ocean, the whisper of the wind through the trees. And in this moment, high above the sea, you are at peace. And so, we leave the Polynesian world behind the navigator's endless seas, the chief's bold voyage, the stone city of Nan Madol, and the priest's sacred chants under starlit skies. It was a world of courage and connection, where every life, from the humblest paddler to the holiest tohunga, was bound to the rhythm of the ocean and the gods. As you lie here now, warm and safe, let the echoes of that time fade, like the wake of a canoe trailing into the horizon. The struggles of the sea, the triumphs of Hatu Matua, the mysteries of stone and reef, the rituals of the Maori, they belong to a distant past, a tapestry woven with human resilience and wonder. Yet the spirit of it all, the spirit of exploration, discovery, and the courage to carve a life from the very face of the ocean, that lives on in you, in your blood and bones. Close your eyes and imagine the vast Pacific, not as an obstacle, but as a path, a pathway to the unknown, to new horizons, and the boundless potential that lies within you. For just as the Polynesian wayfarers navigated by the stars, using the celestial map to guide their course across the fathomless expanse of the ocean, so too can you navigate your own inner seas. The stars above, they have witnessed the journeys of countless generations, the epic voyages of those who dared to dream beyond the confines of their world. And as you gaze up at them now, let their ancient light ignite a spark within you, a yearning for adventure, a thirst for knowledge, and a determination to chart your own course through the uncharted waters of life. For the spirit of exploration is a timeless one, passed down from the voyagers of old to you, to the explorers of the 21st century, the pioneers of innovation, the dreamers who dare to venture beyond the familiar shores of complacency. You are the inheritors of a legacy that began with the first brave souls who set sail into the unknown. Your Polynesian ancestors, were more than just navigators and wayfinders. They were poets of the ocean, storytellers who sang of the winds and waves, whose very essence was intertwined with the rhythm of the tides. Their songs echoed the pulse of the earth, the heartbeat of nature, and they carried with them the hopes, dreams, and fears of their people. As you drift to sleep now, let their songs linger in your ears, a gentle reminder of the power of connection, not just to the vast Pacific that cradled our ancestors, but to the natural world that sustains us all. Let their stories inspire you to find your own voice, to sing your own song, and to become, like them, a poet of the ocean, a storyteller of our time. The year is 1576, and you find yourself in Venice, a city renowned for its art, its canals, and its carefree spirit. But tonight, a somber mood descends as the threat of plague lingers. The authorities have ordered the quarantine of an entire neighborhood. Your home becomes your prison, your window to the outside world. As the days stretch on, boredom and despair set in. You pace your small rooms, counting the hours until you can emerge. Will you lose your fortune? Will you lose your mind? What will become of you? Ah, and what's that sound you hear now? The distant lap of water against a canal bank. Perhaps the soft chime of a fading church bell. These sounds weave together to form a melancholic melody, mirroring the isolation that surrounds you. Now, take a deep breath, letting the tension ease from your shoulders. Imagine the cool night air on your skin as you step out onto your balcony. Before you, the Grand Canal mirrors the star-studded sky. But it's not just the beauty of Venice that captivates you. It's the lifeline it offers. A gondola glides past, carrying merchants and their wares. You yearn to be part of that vibrant scene, to feel the pulse of the city, yet you are held captive by invisible chains. Time seems to slow. Each tick of the clock echoes your own heartbeat. Will this ordeal end soon, or will it drag on endlessly? Now, allow your thoughts to drift to a famous artist named Titian. Picture him in his Venetian home, surrounded by his art supplies. He, too, is confined within, but his spirit remains undaunted. Despite the cramped quarters, he finds solace and inspiration in his work. He dips his brush into vibrant colors, breathing life into canvases. His art becomes his sanctuary, a world where he can escape the confines of his room. But his brilliance doesn't come without a price. The wealthy elite demand his masterpieces, often leaving him with mere days to complete these coveted paintings. The pressure mounts as he works tirelessly, fueled by a desire to maintain his reputation and secure his financial future. With each stroke, he pours his heart and soul into his art, determined to triumph over adversity. But his greatest challenge may lie ahead. A formidable rival, the painter Tintoretto, emerges, threatening to overshadow Titian's glory. And now, let's shift our focus to a banker named Oppenheim, a trusted advisor to the Medici family in Florence. Amidst the opulence of his surroundings, a secret gnaws at him. His employer, the powerful banker, has vanished, leaving behind a trail of cryptic clues. Was it a rival trying to usurp his position, or was there something more sinister at play? As Oppenheim delves deeper into the mystery, he uncovers a web of deceit and danger. Each step he takes brings him closer to the truth, but also closer to peril. Will he succeed in solving the enigma of the missing banker, or will he become another casualty in this game of shadows and lies? As the night deepens, so does the intrigue. Will you ever escape this house arrest? Can Titian withstand the pressures of his rival and the ticking clock? And can opium navigate the treacherous waters of deceit to unveil the truth? As you ponder these questions, let the sound of lapping water and the distant church bell envelop you. These sounds blend into a lullaby, inviting you to surrender to the night. Drift into this moment, allowing the worries of the day to melt away. Let the secrets of Renaissance Europe unfold in your dreams. And when you awaken, you'll carry a piece of this captivating tale with you. For tonight, we must say our goodbyes. Until next time, may your dreams be filled with the mysteries and magic of a bygone era. Sweet dreams. Picture the Pacific one last time, its waves calm under a starry night, the islands scattered like jewels in its embrace. The Polynesian world, with all its trials and triumphs, has long since sailed into history, but its stories linger, soft as a whisper on the breeze. Let your mind drift, carried by the rhythm of those lives, toward a place of peace, where the worries of the world fall away, and the only sound is the whisper of the wind through the trees and the soft lapping of waves on the shore. Here in this Polynesian paradise, the day begins and ends with the ocean's gentle embrace. The rising sun paints the sky with hues of pink and orange, mirrored in the calm waters that lap at the sandy beaches. As the elders gather, their voices, like the rustling of palm leaves, weave tales of a vibrant past, stories of exploration and courage, of gods and legends, and the deep connection to the sea that sustained their ancestors. The younger ones, their eyes bright with wonder, listen intently, their laughter echoing the joy of a life deeply rooted in nature's rhythm. The ocean, their lifeblood, provides not just sustenance, but a pathway to the spirit world. For the Polynesian, the sea is more than just water. It's a living, breathing entity, a source of both sustenance and danger. As they venture out, their outrigger canoes dance on the waves, a testament to their skill and bravery. Each stroke of the paddle echoes the heartbeat of the ocean, connecting them to the rhythm of the sea. But it's not just about the physical journey. For the Polynesian, every journey is also a spiritual one. The vastness of the ocean mirrors the vastness of their dreams and aspirations. And when the stars emerge, their light dancing on the water, it's a reminder of the ancient Polynesian way of life, a way of life that continues to thrive in the hearts of those who call the Pacific home. Here, beneath the cloak of night, the fireflies ignite, their tiny lights twinkling like fallen stars. The air is alive with the scent of plumeria, and the sound of crickets serenades the sleeping world. The ocean, now a darker shade of blue, whispers secrets to the shore, and the soft sand cradles the dreams of those who rest here. Sleep well, and let the past cradle you gently until morning. The world is quiet now, the fire low, the ocean a gentle hum. Just as the Polynesian navigators once sailed across the vast Pacific, guided by the stars and the rhythm of the waves, so too can you find your way back to this tranquil haven whenever your mind desires. And now, soft fade out. The only sounds, the lapping of waves and distant seabird calls. The year is 1576. You are a citizen of Venice. Your world is the lapping of water against the high walls that surround your city, the salt-laced wind that whips through the narrow streets, and the cries of gulls wheeling overhead. Behind those high walls, the sea has risen, not in a raging storm, but in a creeping, silent surge that has swallowed the mainland. One by one, the coastal communities have fallen, their names now synonymous with terror and death. And you wait, heart heavy, for the inevitable news that confirms what you already know. Your world, like so many before it, has become a graveyard. Each day you wake in your dim, shuttered room, the air thick with the scent of vinegar and stale bread. Your bed, a straw mattress draped with a coarse linen, creaks beneath you, offering little rest after a night of fitful sleep. Outside, the relentless rhythm of the waves is punctuated by the distant wail of a mourner, the sound echoing across the canals, a requiem for the lost. The walls of your tenement are damp with canal moisture. They press close, their plaster cracked and peeling. Rain or plague, they say, the distinction is yours. To make your clothes worn wool, heavy with the smell of smoke from a small hearth, itch against your skin as you rise. You pull them on one by one, bracing yourself for the familiar ache at the small of your back. The hours stretch ahead of you, measured by the slow drip of water from a leaky pipe, the squeak of a passing gondola, the murmur of voices raised in prayer or song. In the Piazza San Marco, pigeons gather, cooing softly as they eye the scraps tossed by a bored noble. Across the lagoon, the mountains stand stoic and far, their peaks wreathed in mist, a cruel mockery of the shroud that hangs over Venice. Time itself seems to have slowed, each moment pregnant with the dread of contagion, the sting of isolation, the ache of loss. Will it be today? You wonder, pushing the thought away, telling yourself there are no new cases, not since yesterday. And then there is the bell, its mournful toll reverberating through your bones. A knell for the departed, a warning for the living. You pull your hood more tightly around you, seeking solace in the anonymity of the crowd, the comforting closeness of human bodies, all of you holding your breath, hoping against hope that this too shall pass. But when will that be? And is Venice strong enough to endure? You wonder, as you grip the railing of the bridge, letting the steady rhythm of the waves lull you into a fragile peace. For now, the sea has claimed the mainland, but Venice, they say, is built on water and water sustains it. So you wait, surrounded by the ghosts of the drowned, for the tide to turn. The hours crawl by. You are a pawn in a game of rats and men, played out on the tilting stage of a plague-ridden city. The rules are simple, really. Don't get caught. If you do, you die. How do you know? Because they've marked the doors. A red cross on wood, the kiss of death. You were suspected, see, because of the fever, because of the cough, because you had dared to venture out when the magistrates ordered everyone to stay inside. You ran errands for your father, a merchant, a cloth merchant, one of the few whose business the plague could not shut down. Cloth for masks, cloth for shrouds, cloth for the living and the dead. What did it matter? In this city, there was no escape from the plague. Not in the canals, where the water's only purpose was to spread the sickness. Not in the squares, where the air was thick with the stench of stale waste and the cries of the dying. Not even in the sky, for the birds flew south when the summer heat began to fade, leaving you with the endless drone of cicadas in your ears. The guard arrives, a gaunt face framed by a scratched and dented helmet. He slides a piece of bread through the slot, along with a hunk of salted fish, and, by the way of an onion, perhaps. It's not much, but it's enough to stave off starvation, just barely. He leaves as abruptly as he arrived, and you are once more alone. You eat quickly, the hunger in your belly a dull ache. Then you pace the room, the floor cool and hard under your boots. Scuff, scuff, scuff. You stop by the window and press your face against the shutter. Beyond, the gondolier poles clack against the stonework of the bridge. You imagine the scene. The gondolier, a splash of bright color against the gray backdrop of the city, leans on his pole, singing out above the lapping of water. A customer, wrapped in a thick cloak, pulls his mask tighter against the reek of the canal. There is a knock at the door, and you start, your heart hammering in your chest. Footsteps approach, then retreat. Perhaps it is the guard, come to see if you are still alive. Or perhaps, just perhaps, it is the angel of death, come to collect what is due him. You press your ear against the door, listening. Silence. You are alone. For now, the only sound your own ragged breathing and the distant clank of a gondolier's pole. The game is not over yet, not by a long shot. But as the hours drag by, you wonder, are you playing for the home team or the other way around? You wake to the insistent dripping of water, the spattering of a bucket being emptied into a basin. Sunlight, scant and weak, filters through a grime-coated window, illuminating motes that dance in the stagnant air. Coughs echo through the corridors, mingling with the stench of stale waste and disinfectant. Your day begins as all days have since the plague arrived, with the careful rationing of food. The hard bread you break, with trembling hands, its crust gritty against your teeth, the fish's salt a sharp note on your tongue. You eat slowly, not daring to savor the meager rations for fear they will not last. Each bite is a conscious act of preservation, each swallow a prayer that hunger will stay at bay. Water drawn from a bucket left by the guard tastes flat and warm, but you sip it slowly, fearing it may not last. You tend a small fire, its embers barely warming the damp room. The smoke curls upward, a phantom limb reaching for the bolted door, the only way out, the only way in. Outside, the wind whispers tales of the world before, when the sun shone brighter and the air was sweet with the scent of blooming things. Here the air is thick with the ghosts of coughs and the weight of unwashed bodies. The task of keeping clean is a futile one. Your hands are raw from scrubbing with lye soap, its acrid smell clinging to your skin even after you have washed and washed again. But the fear of contagion, of becoming a statistic whispered by the wind, drives you to try. Each crease, every fold of your body is a battleground between the grime of survival and the desperate hope for cleanliness. As the days bleed into one another, you find solace in the routine of survival, the making and breaking of camp, the endless search for resources, the constant struggle to stay alive. For in this world turned upside down, where the familiar has become strange and danger lurks in every shadow, these small, simple acts give you a semblance of control, a reason to endure. Though the future remains as bleak and uncertain as the gray sky above, you cling to the belief that somewhere, somehow, life will find a way to bloom again. Even in the darkest of winters, even in the face of an unrelenting plague, the human spirit, like a stubborn weed, refuses to be buried. It reaches up, grasping at the slimmest hope of sunlight, determined to survive, to endure, to live. The fire has died down to embers, leaving us in the suffocating darkness of our little house. Outside, the wind whispers through the skeletal trees, their branches clawing at the sky like the hands of the damned. It's just you, me, and your sister now. Where your brother went, I don't know. Perhaps to find a new life, or perhaps he too succumbed to the fever that stole our parents. I mend the tattered fabric of our only blanket, the needle scratching at the worn wood table. Each stitch pulls at my fingers, each knot a silent prayer for strength. My hands are clumsy with fatigue, yet I dare not rest, not while the chill of night lingers and the whispers of the wind grow louder. You sit across from me, your face pale in the flickering firelight, your eyes distant, gazing into the dying embers. How I wish you would speak. Tell me of the day, of the plague that rages beyond our walls. But you are lost in thought, haunted by memories only you can see, reliving moments that brought you joy or moments that brought you pain. I want to reach out and touch your hand, to tell you that whatever you feel, I feel it too. For how can I not when we are bound by blood and circumstance, when we are bound by grief? I want to tell you that it's all right to cry, to let the tears fall and wash away the pain that lingers in your heart. But the silence stretches between us, thick and heavy, and I fear that if I break it, it will shatter the fragile peace that holds us together. So I continue stitching, my needle flashing in the firelight, my fingers moving with a practiced ease born of necessity. And in the silence, I hear the drip, drip of water from the leaky roof, a melancholic rhythm that echoes the beat of my weary heart. Outside, the wind rises, rattling the window panes, and I wonder if the world will end tonight, if the walls will crumble and the earth swallow us whole. But dawn will come, I tell myself, and with it the promise of a new day. And so I stitch and pray, and in the stillness of the night I listen to the wind and the rain, and I wait for the sun to rise. Fear shapes every moment. The plague, it's sweeping through Venice, taking thousands. Every time the bells toll, you feel its icy fingers creep up your spine, muffling their sound as they do. So you press your ear against the cool stone wall, listening for the signs of illness in your household. A cough, a fever, a sneeze, your heart quickens. Is that it? Is that the sound of death? You smell the rosemary, the sweet scent tucked into your collar, and it does little to comfort you. You've heard tales of entire families taken, their homes left empty, their belongings burned in the piazza. The guard's voice, gruff through the door, brings news of the lazaretto, the plague island where the sick are sent. And you know in your heart that if you hear the bells toll 3 times in the night, you must flee, abandon house, and hope to God you don't get taken too. There are 3 rules for surviving the plague, and all of them depend on fear. Don't touch anything. That's how it starts. The fever, the burning in your lungs. If you don't touch anything, you won't catch it. That's what the old woman said. The one who lost her husband to the plague, the one whose children were taken away in the night, their wails still echoing in your nightmares. Don't touch anything. You keep your distance from the sick, from the dying, even from the dead. You wash your hands in cold, soapy water, scrubbing until your skin is raw, trying to scrub away the fear that claws at your insides. You wear the protective clothing, the mask with its sweet-smelling herbs, the gloves, the hat, the boots. You seal yourself in your room, in your house, away from the sounds of the city, away from the smells of the city, away from the plague. But the third rule is the hardest. You keep watch over the dead. Every night you dress in your finest clothes, lay out your most precious jewels, because when the plague takes you, it will take everything. All of your possessions will be sealed away in your house, and if you aren't there to claim them, someone else will. Someone else will take everything you have ever earned, everything you have ever loved, and burn it in the piazza. The occupation has been brutal and unforgiving. Every day a fresh wave of horror, each night a struggle to stay alive. But you hold on, you have to. There's a flicker in your eyes, a spark in your soul that refuses to be extinguished. Small acts of defiance keep you tethered. You carve a pattern into a wooden spoon, its grain smooth under your knife. You hum a tune from better days, the notes soft in the dim room. You press your ear to the shutter, catching fragments of life, a vendor's call, a child's laugh. Though the sound of death carts, their wheels rattling on cobblestones, is never far. When the sun dips below the rooftops, you light a single rushlight. Its flame flickers in the draft, casting dancing shadows that twist like memories. Evening brings a brief respite, a stolen hour of quiet. The air cools, the canals lap a faint lullaby. You pull your threadbare blanket around your shoulders, seeking solace in its familiar weight. Sleep, a fragile escape from the day's horrors, beckons you. But even in sleep, death lingers, a nightmare's silent grasp. You wake to the insistent chirping of birds, their song a mocking reminder of life going on outside your window. The taste of ash and almonds lingers on your tongue, a grim reminder of yesterday's feast, the one they forced you to eat. The bread was stale, the cheese rancid, but you ate it all, every bite a prayer for strength, for endurance. Now, with the morning light, the true cost of yesterday's feast is revealed. Your stomach churns, your throat parched, each breath a shallow gasp. But you are still alive, and as long as you live, there is hope. A tiny seed of defiance, nourished by fear and grief, takes root in your heart. It grows with each sunrise, each stolen glance at the sky, each whispered word of hope. This is the life of a quarantined citizen, a life of quiet desperation. Your days are measured by the slow drip of the shuttered window. Outside, the world is a muffled memory, a half-remembered dream of sunlit streets and laughter. All that remains now is the relentless tick-tock of the ancient clock tower, a chilling counterpoint to the muffled sobs that escape your lips. The city is your prison and your world, a labyrinth of canals and silent homes. You move through it like a ghost, unseen and unheard. The water, once a source of life and commerce, now carries with it the stench of death and decay. It's a somber reminder of the invisible enemy that stalks the city's narrow alleys. Each day is a battle against despair, a struggle to find joy in the stillness. The vibrant colors of the Renaissance seem muted, the glorious works of art a distant echo. All around you, the spirit of adventure and discovery seems to have vanished, leaving behind a haunting silence. You are not alone in this. The great city of Venice, with its proud history and boundless energy, is holding its breath. The canals that once throbbed with activity are now eerily still, reflecting the somber mood that hangs over the city. The majestic palaces stand as silent sentinels, their beauty a painful reminder of better times. Even the sky seems to weep with you, for here in Venice, the sun rarely shines. When it does, it's a pale imitation of its former self, offering little warmth or cheer. The gentle breeze that once caressed the gondolas is now a mournful sigh that whispers through the empty streets. But amidst this despair, there is a glimmer of hope. For even in the darkest hours, the human spirit yearns for beauty. And in Venice, beauty endures. The paintings of Titian and Veronese, the sculptures of Cellini and Donatello, they all speak of a world beyond the confines of your room, a world that awaits your return. The quarantine may keep you from the world, but it cannot touch the sanctuary of your mind. So let your thoughts take flight, soar above the rooftops, above the canals, above the city, and lose yourself in the boundless realms of imagination. We interrupt this program to bring you a special message from the past. Do you feel the stirrings of genius within you? Are you ready to unveil the secrets of the universe? Then come with me on an extraordinary journey through time and space. I am your guide. Join me and let our adventure begin. Let's leave this shuttered tenement and turn to the story of Leonardo da Vinci, a man whose genius shone even in the shadow of disease. Born in 1452, Leonardo's brilliance knew no bounds. A painter, sculptor, scientist, inventor, his contributions to art and science were nothing short of revolutionary. In a time when plagues ravaged Europe, Leonardo's art took on a haunting beauty, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. His paintings, including the enigmatic Mona Lisa and the awe-inspiring The Last Supper, transcended religious themes, exploring the depths of human emotion and the complexities of the divine. Leonardo's notebooks, filled with scientific observations and inventive designs, offer a glimpse into the workings of a brilliant mind. He studied anatomy, botany, geology, and engineering, seeking to understand the world around him. His inventions, from flying machines to military tanks, were centuries ahead of their time. As a scientist, Leonardo was a pioneer. He made groundbreaking discoveries in fields such as optics, hydraulics, and cartography. His detailed drawings and precise observations laid the foundation for modern scientific methods. But Leonardo's genius was not confined to his art and science. He was a true Renaissance man, excelling in various disciplines and breaking the boundaries of human knowledge. His literary works, including the treatise on painting, provided valuable insights into his creative process and artistic theories. Throughout his life, Leonardo faced numerous challenges, including financial struggles and professional rivalries. Yet he persevered, driven by his insatiable curiosity and desire to push the boundaries of human achievement. In conclusion, Leonardo da Vinci was a true polymath, a master of multiple disciplines whose genius knew no bounds. His contributions to art, science, and literature continue to inspire and amaze us today. As we marvel at his creations, let us also remember the challenges he faced and the indomitable spirit that drove him to greatness. The year is 1503, and you find yourself in a sunlit workshop in Florence. The air is filled with the scent of linseed oil and freshly planed wood. Outside, the bustling Italian city teems with life, oblivious to the turmoil in the heavens above. For within these four walls, a man is grappling with a darkness that threatens to eclipse even the brilliance of his genius. Your gaze falls upon Leonardo da Vinci, a name synonymous with artistic mastery, scientific inquiry, and an unquenchable thirst for knowledge. As you watch, he seems to glide effortlessly between art and science, invention and anatomy, leaving behind a trail of masterpieces that defy the boundaries of human creativity. But this is no fairy tale, for lurking in the shadows of Leonardo's world is the grim specter of the plague, a constant reminder of the fragility of life in this era. And yet, like a beacon amidst the encroaching darkness, Leonardo persists in his pursuit of knowledge, driven by an insatiable curiosity that knows no bounds. As you delve deeper into his world, you uncover a man tormented by the relentless march of time, struggling to complete his magnum opus, The Last Supper, while battling the encroaching darkness within and without. In the flickering lamplight, you see him wrestle with the demons of his own making, plagued by self-doubt and the fear of his own mortality. Yet even in the darkest moments, a glimmer of hope emerges. For in his art and inventions, Leonardo reveals a man who found solace in the beauty of the natural world, a world he sought to understand and preserve through his art. Time, however, is a relentless sculptor, chipping away at Leonardo's resolve. As the weight of his own genius bears down on him, he finds himself trapped in a labyrinth of his own creation, where the very brilliance that set him apart becomes a cage that confines him to the shadows. And as the final brushstrokes are made, you realize that this is not merely a portrait of a troubled genius, but a testament to the indomitable spirit of humanity in the face of adversity. For in Leonardo's journey, you see a reflection of your own, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, the pursuit of knowledge and the quest for beauty can illuminate the path forward. Now, if you want to step further into this mesmerizing tale, click here to continue the story. But remember, as you do, the clock is ticking, and the fate of Leonardo's genius hangs in the balance. Will you help him escape the shadows, or will you let them consume him? The choice, my dear viewer, is yours. The notebook is filled with sketches of flying machines, anatomical studies, geometric diagrams, a testament to a relentless curiosity. At 30, he creates his masterpiece, David, a marble statue so lifelike it seems to breathe. But fame and fortune don't follow. Discouraged, he returns to painting, producing some of his most famous works, including The Last Supper and the Mona Lisa, a portrait so enigmatic it has inspired countless interpretations. Meanwhile, the world outside the studio churns with change. The Medici family, once patrons of the arts, are at war with neighboring states. Florence becomes a battlefield, and Leonardo, horrified by violence, retreats to the countryside. Here, amidst rolling hills and vineyards, he finds solace, painting landscapes that capture the essence of nature. But as war rages on, even this refuge is not safe. At 64, he suffers a stroke, which leaves him partially paralyzed. For the last 2 years of his life, he lives in a French town, painting still lifes and enjoying the company of students and admirers. One of them captures his essence in a portrait, the only one to do so, according to legend. Then, on May 2nd, 1519, Leonardo da Vinci dies. His notebooks, filled with scientific observations and inventions, remain largely unpublished during his lifetime. His genius, though celebrated in art, is not fully recognized until centuries later, when his anatomical drawings and detailed studies of nature are rediscovered. By then, his paintings have become some of the most valuable and influential works in the world, and the enigma of the Mona Lisa's smile continues to captivate, inviting us to lose ourselves in its depths. In Florence, the Arno River flows on, carrying with it the whispers of a genius who walked its banks so many years ago. The Medici family's legacy endures, a reminder of the patronage that shaped the Renaissance. And in the rolling hills outside the city, the landscape remains, bearing witness to the tranquility that inspired one of history's greatest artists. Today, we journey through time, retracing Leonardo's footsteps and exploring the world that shaped his genius. From the Tuscan hills to the bustling streets of Florence, from the quiet countryside to the grandeur of the French court, we uncover the stories behind the masterpieces and the man who created them. Join us as we delve into the archives, bringing you the untold stories that bring history to life. Don't forget to subscribe for more captivating historical tales. As a young man, Leonardo moves through Italy's courts, his notebooks tucked under his arm, their pages filled with mirrored script and intricate drawings. You can picture him in Milan, serving Duke Ludovico Sforza, the air heavy with the scent of wax from candelabras in the castle's halls. He paints The Last Supper, its figures alive on a refectory wall. But he also designs war machines, catapults, tanks, their sketches precise yet unbuilt. The plague, a recurring shadow, disrupts his work. He flees cities when disease strikes, his satchel heavy with ideas. His studies of water, drawn with flowing lines, reflect a mind seeking order in a world of chaos, the scent of ink and parchment grounding his restless thoughts. He is a polymath, a scientist, an artist, a man of the Renaissance who embodies the spirit of inquiry and discovery. He keeps meticulous notes, observes the world around him, collects data, dissects specimens, always seeking to understand how things work, how they move, how they are put together. For Leonardo, the world is a puzzle to be solved, a mystery to be unraveled. Take, for example, his notebooks. They are filled with mirrored script, his innovative ideas and inventions taking shape on the page. One of his most famous drawings is a self-portrait, a mirror image of himself looking back at us, as if to say, "This is what I see. This is what I think. This is what I imagine." It's a remarkable feat of draftsmanship, capturing the essence of a man and his restless mind. But Leonardo isn't just an inventor and a scientist. He's also an artist, a painter, a sculptor, a man who brings his scientific knowledge to bear on the creative process. Take, for example, his painting of the Last Supper. The figures are brought to life with such realism that we can almost hear them breathing. Their gestures and expressions, a testament to Leonardo's keen observation of human nature. Yet despite his many accomplishments, Leonardo remains restless. He's constantly on the move, traveling from city to city, always seeking new challenges, new discoveries, new ideas. And it's this restlessness, this insatiable curiosity, that drives him to push the boundaries of human knowledge, to explore the unknown, to seek out the secrets of the universe. For Leonardo, the world is never simply what it appears to be. There's always more to discover, more to understand, more to explore. And so he continues to delve deeper, to seek out the hidden order beneath the apparent chaos, to bring his unique perspective to bear on the mysteries of the natural world. And in doing so, he changes the way we see the world, showing us that there's always more to know, more to understand, more to explore. Thank you for watching.